Hello, thanks for joining me for another couple of reviews. Right, so today we're heading out to Poland, two beers from Browar Stu Mostów, and the first one is their Tonka Vanilla and Chocolate Baltic Porter Nitro, coming in at 9.7% ABV, 40 IBUs. These guys are out of Wroclaw, I think it is. So yeah, the name of the brewery, I think it's 100 Bridges, I think it's translated into English, but whatever. So yeah, a 9.7% ABV Baltic Porter Nitro. So this was the first beer of our Good Beer live show that we recorded on the 26th of April. So it did produce a really creamy head. I'll put the link of the show down below so you can see it when I first poured it, etc. But I'll just give my little take on it now. The beer's well up to room temperature now. Not much of a creamy head, although it's nitro. So it's more, I mean, it's just a dark beer really. So it's more into the aroma and the tasting notes now. So here we go with the first one. We'll go into the second beer in a moment. So yeah, there's a really nice kind of, it's almost like coconut. Yes, coconut Joe, which is from the Tonka bean. I mean, Tonka's more used for a kind of like a vanilla substitute in some parts. I think it's in South America because vanilla is really expensive. Yeah, it's a nice sweetness to it. A little bit of chocolate there, but there's no alcohol at all. The beer is up to room temperature, and you're not getting 9.7% ABV on the aroma even now. It's probably just over an hour, yeah, about an hour and a half after we first started the show. So this has been open probably just over an hour. It smells lush. Let's just dive in with it. Cheers. It's still, the drinkability of this is ridiculous for a 9.7%. I keep going on about it. It's about the third time now. But yeah, it's a really drinkable beer. There's no hint of that at all. There's none of that. There's none of that kind of burn after or anything like that. But it's super creamy, super smooth. There is a kind of that hint of the Tonka. It's the first thing that hits your palate really, with a slight kind of sweet coconut kind of milk, sugar kind of thing going on with it. It's just so good. It's just so damn good. This is the third and fourth beer from this brewery. We'll get into the last one in a minute. But there's a slight, it's like a more of a milky chocolate kind of feel to the beer. There is a little bit of slightly roasted malts in there, but it's very minimal. It's more sweetness. It's 40 IBUs, but you'd never think it. I mean, I don't know the entire kind of commercial description. It's all in Polish. I could have gone into it and cheated, but I didn't. Is there any part of this that's in English? Not really. Basically, is what we've got in the name of the beer is all we have in the ABV. 330ml bottle, but yeah, cracking looking bottle. Love it. Love this kind of look. If you speak Polish, then there's the back of the bottle. But yeah, really loving this style of beer, or the style of the artwork and the way it's all kind of laid out. Really nice, really well presented, nice, and it's a nice dark brown bottle, quite thick and quite heavy as well. Really good job on that. And the beer to boot, it backs it up. You get a lot of beers think, oh, that looks amazing, and then you buy it, like, that's okay. Yeah, this is the best of both. One more taste, then I'll give it a rating. That's just luxurious, smooth. There's a slight hint of raisin in there as well, but not overly. There's not one thing overlapping the other, which you get in a lot of beers, well-made beers, and this is definitely one of them. For me, this is a 9 out of 10 beer. It's fantastic. ABV's well hidden, The body is, yeah, it's a lower end of a medium. I say lower end of medium. Yeah, medium. Just straight down the line, medium body. Very well done. Cracking beer. So this was, we only had done 2 beers on our 18th show of Good Beer Live, and big thanks to Honest Brew for sending out these couple of bottles for us to try. There is a code if you're interested. I'll put all that down below. It's GLB10, all in capitals with a 10, and that enables you, if you're a new subscriber to Honest Brew, you get £10 off your first order when you spend £29 or more. So check that out. You get some great stuff on there at the moment. They've got some really good stuff. Hopsy was not too long ago, and there's a lot of beers that have been brewed for that kind of beer festival that are on there now. So go down and check it out. All the links and etc. are down below. So anyway, second beer then. So that's that one out of the way. I've got more of this obviously because it was a second beer. So same brewery, from Browar Stu Mostów, and this is their Imperial Stout Nitro, coming in at 11% ABV. Pretty damn big old beers back to back. Yeah, this is 60 IBUs. I don't think there's any other information. It's a 330ml bottle, really heavy bottle again, heavy duty. But yeah, again the artwork is cracking. You want to pause it? There you go. So beer in the glass. I might be able to try and generate a bit of a head on this one because it's got a little bit more going on. Maybe not. It's 11%, so yeah, probably not. When I first poured it, nitro straight down. It produced probably about a finger worth of kind of. It had a bit more of a larger bubbles in it. It looked like a chocolate aero. You know, the inside of a chocolate aero. Bit like that. This is not going to do it. It's 11%, so. There's a bit of alcohol legs on this one. Dark beer. There's a slight kind of ruby hues coming through the side of the rim of the top of the head as you look through the beer towards the glass. But yeah, apart from that, jet black. Lovely looking beer. It's actually staining on the actual inside of the glass, so let's get an aroma. I mean, I don't know. I'm getting a bit more booziness on this one. 11%, you kind of expect it a little bit. And when I first tried this beer in the show, I thought it was like, wow, that's thin. But I had a few sips since, and it kind of creeps up on you. It's one of them sort of beers. Let's just go in. Cheers. So, what I was getting on the aroma is more of a kind of a chocolate, dark chocolate. Still creamy, almost like a creamy smell to it, if that makes sense. But then the taste, yeah, it was not thin at all. That was on first opening. It's caught up with me. I'm now in that kind of zone of tasting of the beer. It's probably been open around about, I reckon, about 3/4 of an hour. So I've had time to breathe. Yeah, dark chocolate. There's almost like a wafery kind of taste, and I was getting it a little bit on the first bit. It's more of a kind of a wafer kind of feel to it, and I'm getting a little bit on this. Raisin, fig, maybe a little bit of plum kind of thing going on, but yeah, the booze is there, a lot more boozy. I don't know if this is barrel aged. I don't know. I haven't done any kind of Google Translate on this one. Let me just have a quick. I'm intrigued. Bear with me, and I'll be with you. It's going to be a longer review. You kind of know that. So Google Translate. Sorry, I should have done all this beforehand, but we'll get there. But it's more of it's reminding me of like a fruit cake as well. That kind of, there's almost like a slight bit of cherry in there. I mean, the guys mentioned Turkish Delight. I wasn't really getting that. I was getting more of a kind of a cherry, like a fruit cake that you get. There's a slight kind of dark, like almost like jam to it. Let's see if this works. Paste. Here we go. So this is the Google Translate. I'm getting a bit of coffee as well. The translation says, the strongest and densest beer of Browar Stu Mostów, black, opaque, brewed with the most dark and roasted malts, filled with chocolate, coffee and caramel aromas. With time, he gains the notes of dark dried fruit with, what's that? Pumpernickel? Extremely essential and extremely tasting. It's the trouble with Google Translate sometimes, it's a little bit but it's a nice beer, but it's just not kind of as it's a little bit more booze. The body is still lacking though, I'd say, considering this is 11% beer. Yeah, it kind of lacks in body a little bit. I'm getting more of a kind of a slight kind of see, what is that? So I'm intrigued by that now. I don't know if that's the same word or not, but I'm getting marzipan, a little bit of marzipan. Pumpernickel is typically a heavy, slightly sweet rye bread, traditionally made with sourdough starter and coarsely ground rye. This is often made today in combination of rye flour and whole roll berries. There you go. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, this is a nice beer, but I'm getting like a slight marzipan-y kind of edge, a little bit of coffee, dark chocolate to round up, then a little bit of fig, raisin, a little bit of cherry. Definitely getting the booze. It's kind of a medium body, which I'd like it to be upper end of a medium or the lower end of a thick body to go with the ABV. But that's just me. Great beer, all the same. In terms of rating then for me, I'm going to give this, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm still worthy of that, so it's a 4 out of 5 of Untapped. Yeah, I gave this one a 9 out of 10, so it's a 4.5 on Untapped. Incidentally, we'll go into the quick scores. So the first beer then, the Tonka Vanilla and Chocolate Baltic Porter Nitro. So I've done all this in the show, but I'm going to do it on here as well. 521 check-ins, 40 in the last 30 days. This beer has been around since the 17th of January of 2019. 457 ratings, coming in at 1.41, so I'm giving this a 1.5, 4.5, 4.14, I'm giving it a 4.5. So yeah, so that's that one. So the second beer, which we're on now, yeah, look at them alcohol legs. I'm trying to keep this short, but I'm not doing a very good job with it. This beer's been around since the 18th of October of 2018, so a little bit longer. 592 ratings of check-ins only, 20 in the last 30 days. It's had 503 ratings, coming in at 3.97. I'm giving this a 4, so that's pretty damn spot on. But there. So check out this brewery. These sporadically get across the UK, but check out HonestBrew. They could be on there, they might not. But so here we go. 2 beers from the same brewery, Browar Stu Mostów, out of Poland. Let me know if you've had it before. I'll put all the links down below. I've had 2 beers from this brewery before, so I'll actually put I'll put my Polish craft beer playlist or Polish beer playlist down below, so you can check them out as well. Anyway, thanks for sitting through all this jargon and nonsense. So big thanks to HonestBrew again. And I'll see you on the next review. Cheers.